The all-new 22 Civic, now on sale at Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
We're starting out the Monday hot.
Mother of pearl! What in the world?
Hotter than hot.
That's the thing, and even hotter than it was like back end of last week.
Yeah.
It was just a string of hot days,
Yes.
another heat advisory, and like you said, today, probably warm.
Yeah, and we've matched the color-coded, the
Yeah, sorry
temperature
about
map,
it.
just to emphasize that it's going to be hot. So we
Sorry.
hope you are hydrating
Yeah.
as you start the day
Stay
before you
safe.
head outside. Let's talk about that hour by hour,
Yes.
because what did Steve say? By lunchtime,
By
it's
lunch.
going to get to,
Yeah.
what, 91?
Already. Yeah, there you see it.
And then it only climbs up from there. You can see 91, 93, and 94 by 3 o'clock today, but that should be as hot as it gets today.
That's the today, right? And so the feel-like temperatures, which is the heat advisory, you're going to get 105, 106, maybe even to that 107 and 108 range.
Yeah.
That's today. And then you're going to have one more day of this tomorrow, it looks like. And then we begin to cool down a little, just a few degrees.
Yes.
Every degree matters, because rain moves into the forecast, more of that. But again, just so you know, as you step ahead into those days, today it really is all about the heat. Check that back seat before you lock that
please.
car and walk away. My gosh, please
Yeah.
do that, because it really can get really, really bad really, really quickly.
Like we've seen this
Yeah,
weekend
sure
with
did.
that 1-year-old. So stay safe out there.
How about this? This literally about 8:50 this morning,
Yeah.
depending on when you're watching this. 8:50 this morning, this happened. We were expecting it, and man, it happened quick.
Yeah, and we've been previewing this. This was expected. We've been talking about this since over the weekend. FDA has approved the Pfizer vaccine for full official approval. So anyone 16 and up can now get this under federal official approval. It's still under emergency use authorization for those 12 through 15. So you can still get it.
Sure.
It's just not under federal official approval for
Right.
12 to 15-year-olds.
And so that's Pfizer, right? And Moderna is obviously going through this process as well.
Yeah.
No word just yet on the Johnson & Johnson, but as you mentioned,
Yeah.
although still under an emergency use
Right.
authorization, so you can still go get them. But now the full weight, the full measure. I was reading a story earlier as well that in the history of vaccines,
Yeah.
the full history of vaccines, never has the FDA had so much to go on to give their full weight and measure behind,
Right.
because there's been a couple 100 million doses of this already given out, so they get to see
Yeah.
what's going on. Full approval.
That's it. That means the trials that they've been working on since they started working on this vaccine, well, they're getting the results from those trials, and those will still be ongoing. So if something happens, if something like they notice a trend in certain things,
Right.
they have the ability to recall them if need be. But they didn't see that problem, so
Right.
that's why they've gone ahead and given it that full approval.
It is pretty good. And so what does this lead to? Does this lead to more folks who might have been a little bit hesitant
Yeah,
to go ahead and get that shot?
possibly.
Does it lead to more companies and businesses requiring, mandating vaccines now that it is fully approved? We'll see. But again, just this morning, full approval from the FDA.
Big news. It's bound to be a big talker throughout the rest of today.
Something going on today as well. We're getting a little bit more help. Oh, and by we, I mean just community in general, but Our Lady of the Lake adding to its staff to help in this fight.
About 100 more extra healthcare workers are coming to
Yep.
OLOL across all of its facilities in the state. They're hoping to open 50 more ICU beds, again, because the need is there. When you talk about the numbers of COVID patients, in general, vaccinated and unvaccinated patients, they're seeing the need for more healthcare
Right.
workers. So today, probably about 15 minutes ago, we were told they were supposed to arrive to OLOL on the Regional Medical Center campus to help fulfill that need.
There is obviously, when we talk about our healthcare heroes burning the candle at both ends, at their wits' end, 18 plus months into this, hopefully now, maybe if they see that FDA news about Pfizer,
Yeah.
we've already heard some of that conversation, like maybe this will help turn the tide, but getting more people in to help these absolutely battle-weary men and women,
Yeah.
it's just, we can't say thank you enough, but a little extra help coming their way.
Yeah,
It's
and speaking
amazing.
of extra help, if you are in need of a meal,
Yep.
maybe you might need dinner tonight, rest of the week, go over to the Lamar Dixon Expo Center. At 8 a.m., the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank set up a mobile food pantry to give out fresh produce, fresh bread, and milk. So you need to bring, obviously, a mask, your ID, and a utility bill, something that proves your address that you live in Ascension Parish. They will be checking all of these things, and it is a first-come, first-served basis.
Right.
But you want to head out there if you or somebody you know is in need of this food.
They're going to run it until 11 o'clock, or as you mentioned, first come, first serve. They could run out before that.
Yeah.
But again, it began, depending on when you're watching this, it may already may already be over. But if you're watching this almost in real time, as Liz mentioned, head on out there with exactly what she told you to bring, and maybe some resources out there, some help to put food on the table.
Yeah, there's a lot else going on today. So not only are we talking about food pantries, the FDA giving approval, but LSU, first day of class today for the fall 2021 semester. Already. Can you believe it? It is the last of our back to school series of our kids going back to school. It's an exciting day because last year LSU freshmen did not have the chance to do this excitement, the hoorah, we're back on campus. But obviously with this excitement, there are some COVID protocols in place.
And so they're talking about masks when you go indoors. They're talking about physically distancing out there. They're talking about taking those tests, getting vaccinated. All these things are going to be in place on campus. The whole idea is to get students, as you mentioned, back. The freshmen from last year, the sophomores this year, didn't get a chance to do all that, right? So it really is almost a new experience for those, as we heard this morning, for those freshmen and sophomores. And it's a return to something missed and loved for those juniors and seniors and maybe those grad students as well. So there are things we can do, like putting a mask on, right? And doing what we know health-wise that enables this kind of thing to happen. Do what we need to do to make sure we can do what we want to do.
That's it. Now we're going to see how this rollout continues, obviously, with the FDA approving the Pfizer vaccine. So we'll see.
So good, though.
The Tigers are back on campus for the first day, so it's certainly an exciting day.
Watch the traffic out there. You know where, but it gets a little bit sideways. Exactly right.
Yeah.
But back in session.
Back to it.
How about this one?
Saints are in the Dome tonight, and today also a big deal because it's at the Caesar Superdome. But they're also kicking in that new mandate that they talked about. They're checking in COVID vaccine status or a negative COVID test 72 hours before today.
Right. And so, exactly right. And so that's going to be required to get into the Dome. And then obviously wearing the mask while you're in there. Cashless concessions while you're in there as well. Just trying to limit as much contact as possible. But if you're going down to New Orleans, period, I mean, it's a mask mandate for the whole city. So just have that ready to go. But again, doing what we can do to make sure we do what we want to do. What we, and so when we get back into the Dome, I mean, it is the Dome opener. So it's Jacksonville, right? The Jaguars. Tonight, it's a Monday nighter, preseason, 7 o'clock kickoff time.
I
think that's right. So we shall see. Jameis Winston getting the start. Taysom Hill is probably going to come. He will come in after that. Just still trying to figure out who's going to be under center for the first real game of the season, the preseason game number 2 tonight at the Dome.
Yeah, and while you're at it, if you are headed down there, go ahead and download the LA Wallet app. It is free. It's free to you to download. It's got your driver's license, your state ID, and your vaccine status on there. So when it comes to making things less
touchy?
Less touchy. They want to make it cashless transactions. They don't want you to actually physically give them a vaccine card. Everything is on there. It's on your phone. You just have to show them. They scan it. Makes it really easy for you.
Gosh, easy. Who knew?
Yeah.
Something going on today as well.
Yeah.
Little League World Series.
Did you see these cuties on Saturday?
You know what? Here's the thing. Obviously, Louisiana has a team here, right? For the second year, not in a row, but the second out of 3 years because the middle of the year, 2020, they didn't have it. Did you follow that? 2019, Louisiana won the whole thing, the kids from River Ridge. Now we're back again. It's the kids from Lafayette. They lost their first game to an incredible pitcher from South Dakota, so I put them into the elimination bracket. But they did win. Like you said, over the weekend, they beat Pennsylvania, so that means they are still alive, and they're sitting here in the elimination bracket with a game today.
You want to tell them something interesting that you told me that happened back in 2019 to the River Ridge team? Yeah.
You know what it is? They were talking about it today, into the elimination bracket. It's tough to win the whole thing out of the elimination bracket, right? You just got to play more games, and there's just no cushion. And since the Little League World Series has expanded, there's only one time that a team has lost that first game, had to go through the elimination bracket, and then ended up winning the whole thing. Wow. You know what that was? River Ridge. The boys from Louisiana.
Doesn't that give you chills? It kind of exciting.
So now here we are again, the boys from Louisiana, crew from Lafayette. They're going to be playing today. Again, it's a team from Ohio. They're playing 4 o'clock on ESPN2.
The big leagues.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Little leagues and the big leagues.
It really is. So we'll see. But I tell you, they got the bats going against Pennsylvania over the weekend. So we'll see if they can continue their run. Again, elimination bracket.
Fingers crossed. Good luck to you, and we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Absolutely, guaranteed.
Yes.
We should probably plug the Plus.
Plug the plus, because that's what y'all are watching us on the plus.
Yeah.
If you've got a Roku, Amazon TV, Apple TV, a Fire Stick, you've got a number of ways to watch us exclusively. So this is not airing on WAFB Mothership right now. This is exclusive to what you're watching us on right now, and it's on your time. 9:15 every day. We go over the top headlines. We make it quick for you because we know you don't got time to sit there and listen.
She said, shut up. That's what she said. She said, shut up.
Yes.
Here's the thing. This is coming to you every single morning at 9:15. This, 10 o'clock, I want to make sure we talk about this for a quick second. We're going to do it again tomorrow. 10 o'clock on Tuesdays, Asian Nation, you know who he's talking to this Tuesday.
That's it. So obviously we are a CBS affiliate station. And you probably know David Begnaud. He is a CBS News reporter. He's actually the lead correspondent for CBS This Morning, and he has done wonderful reports about COVID all across South Louisiana. He's been in COVID units. He's been in the hospitals. He's been in the emergency rooms talking with family after family after family, both vaccinated and unvaccinated, about how COVID is impacting every facet of our healthcare system. And he spoke with Johnny in open-ended conversation. He actually came down to our studio to talk about this, to talk about why it's important for people to get vaccinated, why healthcare workers are asking people to get vaccinated. Imagine how it feels to constantly be talking about the situation when there are resources to get out of it.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
He said he talked about that, admitted that as much. But you're going to hear more than just that. I mean, you can get that from any station, anywhere, any national network, that kind of thing. But here's what you need to know about David. If you don't know, he's a Louisiana boy. He's from our part of the world. So when he tells our stories, he literally is telling his stories as well.
Yeah.
He knows the state. He knows the towns. He knows the communities. He knows the people. He is the people.
Yeah.
So it's a great conversation with Johnny Asian, who is a great interview. He just knows how to do it with somebody who is out there telling the stories right now. Again, that's coming up tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit more about it, but I really am excited to see this one.
It's going to be good.
It is.
It's going to be good. 10
Yep.
a.m. tomorrow. In the meantime, today, it's going to be hot,
Yeah,
right? So we just want to make sure you are staying hydrated. You make sure the kids are hydrated as they go out. And just know it's going to stay hot throughout the rest of the day. So just be careful. Be aware.
Yeah.
And we're waiting for that cool off.
Yeah, we'll wait for that cool off.
Yes.
It's just going to be a few degrees, but it will certainly help. Again, pay attention to that heat out there. Know what you're kind of walking into. Know what you're standing in, and know when to find that shade. Y'all be safe. We'll see you at noon.
Bye.